Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have another guest on the channel that I'm really excited about. It took me a while to get him in front of the camera because he is a creative genius and not always out there talking about his creative processes, but we are talking about water today. It's also because why we chose the setup, and why we talk about water is a whole story because this guy right here, Bauer, he has an amazing innovation necklace that cleanses the water in your body, and we want to talk about that. And we want to talk about that also from an astrological standpoint because it goes back into, what is water even? What is the element of water? What does it have to do with the age of Aquarius and our emotions and the ascension process and our development as human beings? But before I go into my own rabbit hole, I want to say hello and thank you for being here with us.
Hi.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you and nice to be here in your podcast. And for me, really an honor to be on a podcast like this and to really go deep also from the astrological side. Yes.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about what got to you when did you start it? What are you even doing? Before we go into what is water and what do we do, what are you even doing? What is the necklace all about, and your creative genius, what are you passionate about?
The passion about me or mine is the water. I was always fascinating what is water about, and to introduce it on a basic facts is the body is made out of 99% of water molecules. Everybody knows, if you take the weight of water in the body, it's 70%, but if you really count the molecules, it's 99%. So, and this is crazy, if you think about that, if I look at you, you're just water. And the second most is, I think, sulfate or something like this. So it's just water molecules, what we're talking about. And of course, I'm an engineer. I was always asking myself, how to improve, how to optimize my body. And of course, I'm also could be a little lazy, I'm a lazy person. I wanted to optimize the state. So I was thinking about what is needed to bring this molecule to the next level, and that's what we're talking mainly about is water and the coherent state of water. That's from the chemistry side, it's when the angle of the water molecules go from 104.5 degrees on 109.5 degrees. So we're really talking on a physical effect, a chemistry effect, that the angle gets wider. And so the behavior of this water molecule change, and this is what the device. It's like a chip. You can wear it around your head or on your body, and then from this point on, the amount of coherent water molecules in your body, the chance that they change to the state is increased, and through your blood circulation, it's transported to your system. And now the nice question is what happens, what is the benefit if my body has an increased coherent state? I think it's the main question.
Yeah, and I was curious about that too, especially because I was thinking about water in the body as well. The element of water in astrology rules emotions, and a lot of the work that I do is clearing all of the programming that we have associated with our emotions, not being able to feel our emotions, suppressing them. And that's when we talk about trauma, about mental illness, about physical illness at some point, even about cancer, about all of these deep manifested illnesses, because we haven't felt our emotions, we haven't digested them. So that's when everything goes downhill with your human experience. And so water is essentially everything. It's the foundation of the quality of life, basically. And I myself have never really reflected on that, the whole topic of water, but I always was fascinated by it. I always used a water filter, for example. I was always really specific about my water, have to drink a lot of water. I used to have bladder infections and stuff like that. So when I found out about you, it was such a nice synchronicity, because during the same time I was really thinking about water, and even the age of Aquarius, when we talk about Aquarius being the water barrier, where the air sign Aquarius pours into the water of or the ocean, basically. And that's when we have to really think about how do we speak to the water, right? How do we speak to ourselves? And some of you might know the water experiment, where it's really like you speak to the water, you set an intention, and you can literally charge water with a specific intention. And that's when you can really optimize your life. And then I found out about you and what you do, and I was like, wow, that's even better. So I don't even have to do the work all the time. There's something that works for me in the background, so to speak, that really makes sure that all of the stuff that I don't even know about in my body, right, the water that is intoxicated, gets cleared. And so would you say that by wearing the device or the necklace that it runs, so to speak, on autopilot or like in the background?
This is the main idea. Of course, you really put it on a nice story, like from the astrology side. But if you also take it really on the deep physical side, the main question was like, how is like consciousness working? Like everybody knows, like there are a lot of ideas in the world, like how consciousness, how this works, like where's our soul stores, how does it work that we have multiple lives after another, how rebirth works. And I found a lot of interesting theories, and one of my favorite theories I found is that you can see it in multi-dimensions, and you go from our dimension through a mirror dimension and then to the center of everything, who everybody calls God or whatever. But also on a deep physical level, the center of everything with this with other dimension is needed to explain what we really see on physical level in this side. So this is not just esoteric theory, it's real hardcore physics, and it's really needed. And with this series, and this knowledge about the coherent state is one of the possibility that seems to me really true, that on the water molecules our consciousness is transported, like that mainly our soul is stored in the center of everything, where the state of oneness comes from, and then through the water molecule that goes from the normal state, coherent state, then splits up in different ions, and these ions go in a higher electronic voltage state, and then they change to a wave state, and then they do, like they call in the quantum physics, like a tunnel effect. So then it goes through the, as a wavelength, it goes to the center of everything, bam, bam, and comes back. And with this, it transports knowledge, it transports maybe the soul. I mean, it's beyond what we can measure right now. But the evidence that this is true is really high. And means like bringing the body to a higher level on coherent water definitely improves the connection to your higher self.
Yeah, to source, essentially.
To source, exactly. And so that was that's the main fascinating state for me. It's not also what does the coherent water really does on the physical level, like improving detoxification, whatever. But really, for me, it's more easy to focus better, to concentrate better, and to have better downloads, to have great ideas. Like if I have a problem, it's more easy for me to find a solution in a deep meditation. Like this, how is it called? Like in English, like this lightning
downloads. Just the inner knowing.
Yeah, the downloads come faster, and the answers are clearer for me.
And you obviously asked about my sort of like what happened since I wear the necklace, and I can't really speak too much about like the physical things, because what I mainly focus on is my spiritual progress, and I've skyrocketed since the summer. Like I started to wear the necklace I think in October, and ever since, a lot of people also commented on that. I've done a lot of work myself, so it's not like I'm just sitting there chilling and sleeping and it happens out of nowhere. So of course I always work on myself, but I've been doing that for years anyways, so I can still see that it's not even a next level, it's a beyond level that I've reached now, where people can actually tell, right? And you also followed me during that time. We've been in touch as well, and I think you can yeah, basically agree with what I say. So for me, the main effect was really like the connection to source, that I am trusting more. It's always been there and it's always available for everyone, but it's like this trust that you have. You don't even second guess it. It's just this the inner truth that you can feel, and it's ever present. And to me, it feels like a protection from the programming that they throw at us every single day, right? A distraction, like all of that. It's like, no, I have my anchor. I can be in my own element, in my own frequency, which water is also just like frequency, right?
And this is what it's really about. And at the end, it's not really important to say it's that or that.
Yeah.
You can say it's all together, but it's like a wall is set it up bricks by brick, and if you have one layer, then you can build up the next one. And I think that is what's really interesting about, like, it's like an engine. You need fuel for it, and if you put fuel in it, you can run faster and longer. And that's what I think you and I noticed with this higher state of coherent water. But let's take also like back on the physical level, like what's really important to say also that really a deep understanding is also that this coherent state, nevertheless, if it's increased by the necklace or not, it can also be decreased by other stuff. And we really have to talk about this, like toxins that we find in our food, like in the water. And nevertheless, if it's meat or a plant-based diet, one has medicants in, medical stuff in, the other one has pesticides on it or whatever. And they really break this coherent state out of. They really break it out, because it's like it's a physical state. It's not like an energetic state. It's really a physical state. It means like these physical subjects have really influencing on this coherent state. So that's really important that people understand that, nevertheless, how trained your brain is, how far you think you are. If your body, what from my point is the sender, to the universe, like an antenna or something like this, you have to maintenance it, and it has to work. Because if your body would be dead, there would also be no physical experience. And this is really important, that you take care about what you eat, what you drink, like which air, how is the air pollution, like also how's your physical body. You don't have to train every day, but maybe once a week. And then if you combine this with your mental programs, like clear your programs, and put also stuff in your body what's needed, like minerals and vitamins and stuff like this, then you get something together where you really can reach the next level. And this is what I mainly spend my time on, like talking to people, like coaching people who are on the next level, who have companies or something like this. And that's really the key for success. You cannot just say, okay, I'm wearing a necklace, everything is solved, or I'm doing sport, everything is solved, or I meditate, everything is solved. No, the life is more complicated, You have to understand that it's like a gear, and everything works together. And if you want to run this superhuman, that's what I really like to call it the most, the superhuman experience. And every one of you can have this, the superhuman experience. Everyone can have this if you really understand what life is about, and that's like the body and the mental program, and for sure who you're surrounding with, who you spend time with, what you're doing for work. Like, is this where you should go, or is it everything just blocking and locking you down?
Yeah, absolutely. What I can also say though, because it's been a journey that I've shared a lot about, is that I usually have a hard time remembering my dreams, and I have noticed that my sleep, I sleep like a stone, but I can remember my dreams better than before, which is interesting because I get a lot of insights and downloads also in my dream state. So I really love that, because it took me a while to be able to go on that level again, because I've had like crazy experiences when I was younger, so I blocked the ability to remember my dreams. But for some reason, maybe I feel safer now being in that dimension, so to speak. Oh, I don't know what it is, but I've definitely noticed that I have more remembrance, and not just like the day, not just in the morning when I wake up, but also throughout the day I remember, I dreamed about that. What's the message? Like I go deeper and I really understand, it's all just a message from source, essentially, right? And so that's definitely something I've noticed as well.
I mean, also bring it to a physical level. Like if the temple, the machine you're living is working better, then every ability you have will run better than before.
Yeah.
And if you're good in remembering dreams, and if the machine is better, then you will be better in remembering dreams. Or like, what is my superpower? I'm really good in seeing structures. I'm really good at understanding patterns, and to improve them. And so I think this is a main topic you should think about, and understand and implement in your life.
Yeah, it brings out, I always say we all have a specific purpose here, a soul contract with source, and I think it brings out that soul contract stronger, meaning that the abilities and the gifts that you need in order to fulfill that will be amplified. For me, it might be like the channeling that I do, the working with clients, the activation, like that, all of that got very, very much stronger because it's needed for the work that I do anyways, right? And I might have achieved that at some point anyways after a couple of years of practice, but it's just like in lightning speed, it skyrocketed, and people can really tell. And for someone who is maybe a yoga teacher, might have a very amazing Kundalini experience, whatever it is, whatever you need in order to be the closest to source that you signed up for, so to speak. Would you agree?
Yeah. That's the main idea. That's the intention really behind it, and that's like we talked before that I have also like an online course, like a free one, what I talk about the 5 steps to superhuman abilities. And that's really the idea about like what is it needed to perform better and more easy. Like, because a lot of people always think life must be hard and stuff like this, but it must not. If you understand how the universe and the life works, and you behave in a better way, then life becomes really easy. If you flow with the water in your body, there are no blocks. So let us know where we can find the online course. It's for free, so amazing to look into your superhumanness, of course. Also.
Yes.
Perfect, for sure. We'll just put the link to the online course below the video, and then.
And thank you so much for sharing your insights. If you are curious about the necklace, everything will be down below, of course, as well. You can also ask me if you have any questions. You know where you can find me. Everything is down below in the info box. And we hope to see this guy at some point again, maybe talking more about his insights about source and, the universe. But for now, sit with the water in your body and clear that shit out.
Thanks a lot for being here in this podcast. And what I really want to add is like, think about the time of Aquarius. That's what I learned from you, is also the time about technology. And that's what we really should think about, that technology is not an enemy. It's something that's made by the human. It's a human extension. And we should use it in the best way as possible, and then humanity can develop to the next state.
Amen.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.